Amazon deploying 750,000 robots in their warehouses, right? So for the last 4 years, right, being an Amazon delivery driver, working at all these Amazon facilities has been a job that, you know, people have been gravitating to because you get all these benefits and you can get paid all this hourly wage. But as soon as AI steps in, robots step in to do a job that is effectively mindless,
they don't need you.
They don't need you anymore. And so that's the byproduct that comes out of this is the low skilled labor is going to be decimated by this continued high inflation, high interest rate environment and the evolution of, you know, tech. But this came out from
evolving
AI on Instagram of all things. And here's this little video. It's actually showing all these robots doing work.
I love the hopeful music.
I mean, in some ways, right, it's like that level of work, nobody should be made to do that work. But the challenge is people need that work.
Low skills.
So, I mean, we've showed this multiple times. You see it with Wendy's drive-through. You know, you're seeing it with the self-checkout in McDonald's. You're seeing these 99-cent stores, Dollar Generals go out of business because they just can't pay a fair wage and make money. And so all of those are going to be overcome with AI and robots and things that will replace people. And this is what happens in inflationary environments, innovation.
Yeah, you know, dude, I don't want to derail the conversation, guys, but where I go when you think about that type of economic environment, if you couple that with the cultural environment where we are losing our identity as Americans.
Yes.
We're losing really the Christian worldview, its prominence in our culture. What that means is that people that need help, that need support, that need compassion will not find it. That need opportunities, they won't find pathways to develop the things and to get those opportunities. And so what happens when that happens?
Right.
Bad things happen when that happens, right? And so
it's only accelerating, right?
Correct.
So there's a concept called Moore's Law, which was created by the founder of Intel. I wrote about this in the newsletter last night, but it effectively says that computing power gets twice as powerful every 2 years. And so, you know, it basically gives us confidence that investing in those sectors makes sense and that the computers will eventually keep up and be able to handle that. But we're stepping into uncharted territory, which is now the AI is the one that is creating the computing power. If you actually listen to the CEO of NVIDIA talk about how they're using AI to explore new ways to build hardware and tech and chip processors, and it's doing it in rapid fashion, 24 hours a day. And it can explore through modeling and prototyping in ways that we would never be able to as humans. The rate at which we're going to see this acceleration of technology is going to be exponential. I think I was kind of doing the math, but something like instead of them computers getting twice as powerful every 2 years, the rate with which we've seen AI adoption in the last 4 years, I mean, we're probably getting pretty close to like, I don't know, 20, 30% adoption of that into the market in 4 years. I think we're accelerating at like 40 or 50 years kind of pace.
Wow.
So 2 years is going to be like 50 years of technological advancement.
That's cool.
It's kind of scary though too.
Yeah, but it's
because
cool
it's going to outpace us.
Okay, so before we hit that next piece on the AI, I had a thought.
Yep.
The biggest AI and tech companies in the world, because this is what's happening, we're going to potentially, wipe out the employment options for many people. They should start a fund, a major fund where they invest in like companies, and because we're not just going to print the money, but I think they should start a fund, get the top 50, 100 CEOs, create a major fund where they invest back into the market and make, money off of that. And then that becomes the people's replacement fund. And they start sending out checks to people because they're going to be unemployed. And the government should not be spending that, because then that's, at least let it come from money that's being worked for, in theory, so to speak. But I digress.
Well, that kind of, I mean, you've heard Elon kind of talk about that, but he's talking about how he believes that at a certain point, like we'll have to come up with a universal basic income
Correct.
because a mass segment of the market will be cast aside.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to work in the workforce because the machines will do it better than they ever could.
Right. But if that's not tied to any sort of productivity by any means, it's not going to work.
It's not a good system.
Yeah.
But
So
we already do it anyways. We just don't call it universal basic income.